This player's development trait is hidden. Put him in your lineup and he...
Today, from AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas, it's Week 4 of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys taking on Sam Darnold and the Carolina Panthers.
We are sandwiched between Fort Worth and Dallas, Texas, and Arlington at the luxurious AT&T Stadium. Obviously, they do everything big here in Dallas, and the introduction to the Cowboys, no exception. They're set for football in Big D as their guys will do battle with the Carolina Panthers. Hello again, everyone. I'm Brandon Gautin, joined as always by Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Cowboy team entering play. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Panthers, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
And I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
And here we go for the first time with the Panthers offense, led out by their new quarterback for 2021 in his 4th season overall now after 3 with the Jets. It's Sam Darnold.
Many people put stock in a quarterback's record as a starter, and Sam Darnold just 13-25 overall with the Jets. So many think that he's not going to be the guy, but there's a lot of talent there, and the Carolina Panthers are expecting it to come out. This could be a classic case of a change of scenery could do him well, plus the surrounding cast that he's inheriting in Carolina, better than anything he played with in New York. This is a great opportunity for Sam Darnold. One of the more productive and durable players up until last year. Remember, in 2019, 116 catches, which was an all-time record for NFL running backs. Trying to come back from an injury-filled 2020, just 17 catches on the year. Sure is great to see him back on the field doing his thing.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. North of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you know, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good, too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
The ball's out. McCaffrey lost it. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. Power, and he works free. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Cowboys have taken the early lead.
Well, that's how you take advantage of an early turnover. A sudden change situation, meaning ball's turned over. How's both sides going to handle it? One side handled it way better. They went right out on the field and put the ball in the end zone.
One play, that just added insult to injury.
Yeah, that just tells you on the defensive side, they didn't come out ready to go, still reeling from the fact that the ball got turned over.
They'll let Elliott try and run it in. And he will get in to make it 8-0. And so they run it in on the two-point try. And it's so often, Charles, we talk about from the offense's perspective what you do on the two-point conversion. How about the defense? How do they play run versus pass?
It's really difficult for them because I think most teams want to play for the pass. That's what they see most teams do. And so are you able to mass enough people inside if the team decides to run it? Very difficult. I think what you're seeing a lot more now, people blitzing the two-point conversion. They want you to make a quick decision and make it right now.
There, the offense wins the battle for 2. And Smith not going to bring it out, so it's a touchback. The Panthers coming back out onto the field for their second drive. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That could be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
You know, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up.
And that nearly trouble, but it's incomplete. The rookie had it and lost it, and it'll be second down. Meanwhile, the throw here is complete. Oh, he's hit. He lost the football. Put it on the carpet. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last 2, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
A first down carry by Elliott. Strong running at the 30. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line.
49 yards rushing for him now in his first 2 carries of the ball game.
How about his performance last week? Over 200 yards. I think his decisiveness. One cut, and he goes. That's what's really made him pile up the yardage.
And the yardage he piled up last week, easily honored with NFC Offensive Player of the Week.
I would have voted.
And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott with his second touchdown in this opening quarter.
And the Cowboys are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Not even 2 minutes into this football game, already we've had 2 scores.
You know how much I like to read about teams of old, right? The teams of yesteryear. There were some teams that were known as the point-a-minute teams. Well, obviously in a 60-minute game, that's 60-plus points. But 2 touchdowns in the first 2 minutes? My calculator doesn't operate that well.
And now on the other side, they better wake up. They haven't even gotten off the bus yet. And he will get into the end zone again. And he seems to have a nose for it as he gets both the touchdown and the 2-point conversion. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away.
And Smith chooses not to return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. The Carolina offense about ready to go.
And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. So you can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense. But when you turn it over, it changes momentum. And when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise it's going to be a long day for you.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
Darnold will hand off to McCaffrey.
And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here, 3rd and 5.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
Here's Darnold. And that is incomplete. Jordan Lewis right there on the coverage.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially, and the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Zeke and the Cowboys ready to begin their next drive. First month of the season, those numbers pretty solid. Does he continue that?
I think so, because when you come out of the gate this strong, that means that you have planned for it and you like the results that you're getting. So I wouldn't have any doubt that the head coach, offensive coordinator actually called him in and said, look, you're our guy, okay? We're going to continue to stick with this as long as we're winning games. You ready for the challenge? And then they presented it to the rest of the team. I think we'll see plenty of that as the season moves on.
And I'm sure he said challenge accepted. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and it'll be a 2nd down. Prescott to throw it.
And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete. Well, you know, this club, there were some reports earlier in the week, and most have heard this by now, the so-called unnamed sources that were saying all is not rosy in that locker room. There's whispers that 1 or 2 guys, CD, have kind of had enough of how things are going and have been going. How would you handle that as a coach?
Well, you and I both know.
Touchdown, Cowboys! Ezekiel Elliott doing it again with his 3rd touchdown here in the opening quarter. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. Now, first quarter, and this lead is already getting into dangerous territory. They better be careful on the other sideline.
Yeah, it feels a little bit more like a basketball game where one team is pressing and that team can't get the ball over half court. I mean, it is stealing it and scoring it, layups, the whole deal. That's what it feels like right now. They are all over them.
Now Mike McCarthy saying, let's go for 2. They'll let Elliott try and run it in. And he is into the end zone again. So get him some oxygen. He scores on the long run and then punches in the 2-point conversion for good measure. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. And Smith not going to bring it out, so it's a touchback. Now the Panthers offense, they get set to come back onto the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Under pressure now, Darnold, and he goes down. Randy Gregory. Give him the credit for the sack and a loss of 14 yards.
Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Another try after the first down sack. Darnold.
And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
He was trying to get that one into the hands of Christian McCaffrey. And it's 3rd down. Darnold. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter Feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
At first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on third down conversions to start this thing. It's fielded at the 45. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Cowboys are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. Here's the Dallas offense now, heading back out onto the field. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Out of the gun, it's Elliott. Even with him busting through the contact, he'll still be stopped just inside the 35. A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter.
Well, this defense for the Panthers, they were fantastic a week ago in that win over Houston.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for them.
Touchdown, Cowboys! Ezekiel Elliott. What is going on here? 4 first-quarter touchdowns. Unbelievable. And the Cowboys add on. And that rushing touchdown is 4th, puts him just 1 shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
So Dak will bring the Cowboys up to go for the 2-point try. They'll let Elliott try and run it in. And he is into the end zone again as he scores both the touchdown and the 2-point conversion to extend this lead. Needed a couple yards for the 2-point try. They go to the ground game, and it works.
And sometimes it's the exact right thing to do because a lot of teams play you for the pass. So you spread people out, decide to run the football. You often find good running lanes.
Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away.
And Smith chooses not to return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. The possession of the football goes over to Carolina.
They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on 1st down. To throw is Darnold. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Randy Gregory able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
After the sack, oh, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. Here's Darnold. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 16. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. That pick 6 extending this lead even further. And boy, it's been a while since I've seen a team struggle this badly in the first half.
I think all they want to do is get to the locker room, try and regroup, and come out to start the 3rd quarter. But if things don't improve fast then, I think the backups get a lot of play in the second half.
The defense more than did its job. Now the offense is summoned onto the field as they'll go for 2. They'll let Elliott try and run it in. And make them 4 for 4 now on 2-point conversions as he'll take this one in for the score. And there's a quick momentum swing. INT return for a pick 6, and then the 2-point conversion good.
And even if you're keeping your wits about you, you're thinking to yourself, okay, extra point block team going into the game now. All of a sudden you're hearing defense. Everyone's scrambling for their helmets and throwing down their cups of water. That's a great position for them to be in, trying to score against that team. A little bit disjointed.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And Smith not going to bring it out, so it's a touchback. Out comes Christian McCaffrey with the rest of the offense. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement. Down on the scoreboard, maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they?
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. On second down, McCaffrey. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. 2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. On the ground, McCaffrey. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Draw play, Darnold giving to McCaffrey. In this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. A loss of 1, now a loss of 2, and they're staring at a 3rd and 13.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is just going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
So 1st and 2nd down went the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And he is going to have a Panthers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
They're able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Back to throw, Darnold.
Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted.
Picked off near the 34. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
A few things better than a big man interception. You can always tell right when they get the football, there's that level of excitement and nervousness, and also like, what the heck do I do with this thing?
And you say, no better sight? Well, not for the quarterback who just threw it. It's bad enough to throw a pick, but to throw one to the big guy? But you're right about that. Now what do I do with it? But what's fun about it is, you know they're going to be in the film room after this ball game, telling all their teammates, maybe I should shift over to offense. I've got skills. What do you think?
Oh, absolutely. I always find myself cheering for them after they intercepted. Unfortunately here, he couldn't make it into the end zone.
First down, Prescott.
He'll get this out wide here to Elliott.
And some room to run now. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That's good for 28 yards. reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3.
Man, 188 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal.
He'll go underneath here to Elliott.
Touchdown, Cowboys! Ezekiel Elliott from 3 yards out.
And the Cowboys are able to add on to their first half lead.
It seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. Only had a couple of yards to gain there on the 2-point conversion, and they were able to do it.
And how many teams shy away from running the football in a 2-point conversion? They treat 2 yards as if it were 20. If you're a good team running the ball, go to your strength. Go ahead and push it into the end zone.
Yeah, they did. It worked. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away.
And Smith chooses not to return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25.
Carolina getting set to take the field. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it no matter the sport. They say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I was
going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
Under pressure now, Darnold, and he goes down. Randy Gregory in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
He continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure, and these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Another try after the first down sack. Darnold.
He'll get this underneath to McCaffrey.
And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Throwing here on 3rd down, Darnold. They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down.
The key to any screen play is all in the deception. And that means everyone on the offensive side of the ball. But someone gave it up because that one wasn't very well concealed. And the defense able to rally to him and hold him for just a short gain.
They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
And with 8 seconds on the clock, really not a lot of time to try to put anything together.
Going to take a shot for Gallup. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Michael Gallup, that's who he was looking for, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
And now this throw incomplete, and that is how this first half will come to an end. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Time to give you folks at home a look around the NFL on this first official weekend of fall. So let's get to it. We begin with the big matchup of the weekend. Andy Reid's current and former squads. Kansas City taking on Philadelphia. And as they come towards halftime, it's the Eagles who have the lead in that one. Jalen Reagor, a touchdown reception. From there, we head up to MetLife Stadium to check on the Jets. And you can see they have the lead over the visiting Tennessee Titans. The Jets locked in a tight one, but this is a game you feel they've got to have. Finally, let's get down to the Bayou and check on the Saints at home in the Superdome. And right now they have the lead over the visiting New York Giants. Jameis Winston has thrown a touchdown pass. Meanwhile, our game has been a boat race. Very one-sided to this point. And for the call of the second half, let's get it back to our commentating team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3. On the return, Tony Pollard from his end zone. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. So here are the Cowboys to take over. They were victorious a week ago over Philadelphia. They lead here as well as they start out 1st and 10. Second half starts with a carry by Elliott. Elliott a first down and more. Pushing his way through. And all the way down to the 33-yard line. 218 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now Elliott. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Elliott running right. Shifts by at the 15. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, 24 yards. And the Cowboys continue to pour it on. Well, big plays have been the story so far into this third quarter, and they have really been running wild this whole ball game, and there's another example right there on the touchdown run.
And their execution has been exceptional, especially for a team that's played with great pace. They've controlled the tempo, played how they've wanted to, and they're having their way right now.
Now Mike McCarthy going to decide to go for 2 here.
They'll let Elliott try and run it in. And he is into the end zone again as he scores both the touchdown and the 2-point conversion to extend this lead.
Well, I guess when you're hot, you're hot. I mean, I would just go ahead and take the extra point and move on, but apparently they've got something to prove. Almost feels like something was said this week, and they wanted to make sure that they laid it on them in this game.
Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away.
And Smith not going to bring it out, so it's a touchback.
The Panthers offense now, they head back on the field for their first possession of the second half. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards. This is McCaffrey on the give. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down.
11 yards and a Panther first down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. This is McCaffrey. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back first downs.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the past, but in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that, MVU. Well done.
A good-looking drive so far for the Panthers and a first down here.
There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. Brent Urban there to get him down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 46 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
We saw it at Stanford. It does not surprise me to see it here in the NFL as well. This is one elusive young man.
He set the NCAA record in 2015, 3,864 all-purpose yards.
Listen, after watching that move, I just called for the trainer. I think I pulled a hammy just watching it.
And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. And they'll try the air now with Darnold. Quick hitter here. It's complete. Touchdown! DJ Moore. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And it's for pride now, but the Panthers do get a bit closer. On this play, he just made a great route. The quarterback had to deliver it, sure, but a great route run there.
And, Brandon, this is what the best receivers do. They work on their route running because it's one thing to have athletic ability, but to really get open, you have to set up defensive backs with different routes and be precise in your cuts.
Point after try forthcoming. So they get one score back, but still a long ways to go here in this third quarter. So that one, an 8-play drive. It spans 75 yards. And the end result, a Panthers touchdown. This is Tony Pollard. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. Ezekiel Elliott gets ready to go again here on offense as he shuffles onto the field. We've seen him be good so far. He's hoping to continue that trend here in quarter number 3.
And typically when you see guys running it this well, they see the game in slow motion, don't they? They see the cuts happen, they see the blocks happen, they feel really good about their vision, and then they use their legs to find that open space.
And he's had some good help up front to boot. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a first down. Elliott. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. 14 yards, good for a Cowboy first down. They'll go with Pollard here on first down. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. They'll try the right side with Elliott.
It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short. They go to Elliott again. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Cowboys are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this fourth-quarter lead. Even though they've got this big advantage, Charles, they are not taking their foot off the gas pedal right now.
Well, I think what we're seeing is the result of all their great preparation and great practice time during the week. And even though it seems like this is a great chance to pull people back and maybe, not try and score a few more times, they don't want to do that. I think they're enjoying what they're seeing, the collective effort, and they want to play it all the way out.
And he is into the end zone again as he scores both the touchdown and the 2-point conversion to extend this lead.
Personally, I'd rather see him kick the extra point there than to go for 2, but it almost feels like there's a story within the story here. I mean, this isn't college. Size of victory, that matters in those games. Here, all you have to do is win by 1 point. They go for it, get 2. You got some pretty ticked off folks on the other sideline now.
Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away.
And Smith chooses not to return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25.
Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there. At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Second down and 10, Darnold. He finds his man, complete. It's Moore. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
55.
A shotgun snap for Darnold. And this is going to be incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
On is the punter Charlton now as he's able to get this one away.
Taken from just outside the 30. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. And let's gaze our attention on Ezekiel Elliott. And I don't even know if we have enough time for all the highlights that he's created with all these touchdown runs.
It's gotten to the point, partner, where we're not wondering if, we're just wondering when he's going to find the end zone again. It's been that kind of a day for him. You talk about a guy who's locked in. He sees the field, the vision, and getting past everyone, and definitely finding the end zone.
And those guys on the other side, that shower can't come quick enough.
Not at all.
They find some open field here. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, 44 yards. And the Cowboys add on. As that lead just swells and swells. Look, this has been dominance in all 3 phases, offense, defense, and special teams.
So don't we have to give a lot of credit, not just to what we've seen today, but the preparation in advance, coaching staff, commitment by the players to the game plan, and being ready to go in this one? You're exactly right. Clean sweep. And, boy, they're going to celebrate this one after it's over.
And on the other side, this is the game film you just flush and never go back and review.
I think this is just going to be a function of the times we live in now. Very similar to the bat flip in baseball. Everyone's got to start to get comfortable with this. But to me, this is just rubbing it in. You got a big lead. Go ahead and take the extra point. One thing to keep in mind, though, karma's still out there, and sometimes it has a way of catching up with you.
Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. And Smith not going to bring it out, so it's a touchback. The Carolina offense about ready to go. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
On 1st and 10, Darnold. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now it's Darnold. Under pressure now, Darnold, and he goes down. Randy Gregory. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
And you could say that is just another cherry on top for this defense and that entire team. But really, this defense has sparked what's been an impressive effort here in this one.
And I noticed you used the word sparked, because you're not seeing that on the other side of the ball, are you? The offense right now, the spark has left their game, and it's been because of what you described, that defensive pressure.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw, and Anderson's got it. And they're going to get him down well short of the 1st, as he can only get this to the 30. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
They didn't get the 1st down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the 1st. Here's the Panthers punter now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. A terrific return. 30 yards all in all. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. And Charles, in a very one-sided affair, I think we've reached the point in the broadcast where you and I, we may have some filling to do, right?
Yeah, I think you're right about that, because we got to try and keep people around. We don't want them to change the channel. Stay with us in this game. Is that Ben Ramsar? Are you hearing from Ben on the headset here? Tell us, stretch this thing out a little bit.
Get some talking points. Dig them all out.
That's what you get. A big-time producer. Keep him here.
And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. It's a gain of 35.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. Now Elliott. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. So Dak will bring the Cowboys up to go for the 2-point try. They'll let Elliott try and run it in. And he is into the end zone again as he scores both the touchdown and the 2-point conversion to extend this lead. And they're able to ground it in there on the 2-point try. And you and I were talking before the game. The two-point conversions from the 15-16 season, what has changed, what hasn't changed, partner?
Yeah, I'll tell you what's changed is just your normal strategy, because now you're either kicking the football with the ball on the 15-yard line, or if you decide to go for two, they put it on the 2-yard line. So what are you thinking as a coach? Do I risk it? Do I go for it here? Do I try and gain a strategic advantage and maybe go for two early? That's what people are wondering about.
And Smith chooses not to return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25.
The Panthers offense here, they get ready to head back on the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked so well.
Go to something else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays for one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
And that's all about recognition right there, because he's got to go from pass rush mode to pursuit mode, what defensive line coaches like to call retracing. And he's able to retreat and make the tackle for just a short gain.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And he will get enough for a 1st down, and that will lead us to the 2-minute warning.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. That one goes for 8 yards. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Darnold from the gun. And his throw is incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
On 2nd and 10, Darnold. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
I think this one offensively, this is one where you just say, let's move on. Let's not even watch the game tapes from this one.
Yeah, you might just want to throw it in the trash, act like it was never there in the first place.
Yeah, just say we're good. I actually have heard of a coach in the past who took his team out to the practice field and ceremonially buried the game films from the prior game when they got clobbered. That was his way of putting it behind them. This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. This is taken at the 18. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs.
Dallas offense set for this next drive.
And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. And he's got some space here. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. It's a gain of 34.
And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. They keep on the ground with Elliott. Fighting his way through contact. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. So Dak will bring the Cowboys up to go for the 2-point try. They'll let Elliott try and run it in. And he is into the end zone again as he scores both the touchdown and the two-point conversion to extend this lead. So they kept it on the ground, got it into the end zone. But Charles, sometimes you probably see teams treat a two-point conversion differently than if it was first and goal from the two, or I should say third and goal from the two.
I agree with you totally on that. A lot of teams treat it as if they have farther to go and shy away from running the football. I think this is a great spot to do it because most teams play you for the pass. Go ahead and run and let your linemen surge and fire out.
And Smith not going to bring it out, so it's a touchback. The possession of the football goes over to Carolina.
Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now. And if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. Darnold on first down. Under pressure now, Darnold, and he goes down. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got two more to use here in the final stages. To try again after the sack. Darnold, he's going to let it fly. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Jordan Lewis right there on the coverage. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now Darnold.
And great running after the catch turns that into a really big gain. That's the good news, but keep in mind here, the clock running.
And what are the whistles for? Timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. 2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Darnold now to throw. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. Now we'll get whistles, and they signal for a timeout. Not sure I see the logic in this, but we'll get a stoppage anyway with 5 seconds remaining. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Now a desperation throw deep downfield.
And this is incomplete. Oh, he looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Dallas, it'll be a .500 start as the win gets them back to 2-2. And they'll have another home date next week as the New York Giants come to town. Meanwhile, for Carolina, they'll drop down to 1-3. And they'll try again next week at home against Philadelphia. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.